Only 400 viewers, Max fell off. Guys, I just started. Come on, man. Guys, I'm so excited for the race. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Dude, I'm so excited for Heroic Week too. Like, here's what makes me excited, man. During, like, simultaneous release, all heroics are met with disdain because it's like, why aren't we in Mythic right now? When are splits over? I fucking hate splits, you know? And then, like, in Heroic Week, there was always splits, but no one complained about them. They just watched them, and it, like, built hype for Mythic because it wasn't like it was taking away from Mythic. It existed separately on its own, you know? And, like, I don't know. I'm just excited for that again. So I don't know. I'm really excited for next week's gonna be so fun. What do you mean just started? 6 minutes in, you're close to ending stream? No, man. I don't ever end my stream early. Alright, let's read some YouTube chat here so they don't go for my head. Max, should tanks care about Sims? Very minimally. Some of the worst takes I've ever seen about the power level of things in the game have come from people who try to solve tanks with Sims. Max, I start teaching elementary music starting tomorrow. Bless up. Oh, that's awesome. I did a couple of teaching rotations for elementary, and I don't think I would do that job long term personally. I'm just not built for it. But I would love doing it in the short term. They're just so sweet, you know? So sweet and innocent, and they're just trying to learn music. It's middle school when they start getting evil and shit. I would probably be high school teacher, I think, for music. Max, you remind me of my choir teacher. Let's go. Too bad high school music teachers make crumbs. Yeah, it's sad. Every time I come to the stream, I feel welcomed by the Swedish flag. That's pretty good because it's from a Dratnos bit. And it's also... his bit was that he doesn't know the difference between Sweden and Denmark. Max, if you could have an unlimited number of dogs, how many would you have? 3. I think I'm happy with 3 dogs. I'd be happy probably with 2 dogs or 1 dog. I think more than 3 would be a lot for me. Love the dogs I have right now. Wouldn't want to lose any of them, right? But when I do lose them, right? Somewhere around like 1 or 2, 3, somewhere in there sounds good. Depends. By the way, when that happens, you won't be hearing from me for like a month. Just letting you know. Max, are we at the liquid facility today? No, I'm at home. I'll be at the liquid facility. You know, honestly, I don't know. I could go tomorrow, but I don't know if I will. Think maybe like Thursday, maybe maybe Friday, something like that. It's just 10 minutes away, really. It's whenever I want to go, but, you know. So literally any day next week, yeah. The European players are leaving very soon for LA. Like, I think they leave today. But obviously it's tomorrow for them, if that makes sense. Yeah, dude, they're going to... Our European players are leaving like early AM EU time, and they're gonna fly back in time and land here like late our time tomorrow, if that makes sense. Monday. Like midday our time, probably. Also, I heard from a few of them that they're going to try to raw dog the flight to build up their mental fortitude for the race. No sleeping, no entertainment. You just stare at the seat in front of you for 17 hours. God, the music in this expansion is so fucking good. So good. Let's talk about Dornagal. It grows on me every day. Facts. Max, does Liquid pay for flight tickets? Yeah, of course. All the flights and your stay are accommodated, obviously. Dude, that'd be crazy. Hey, guys, we'll fly you in for the event, but you gotta pay all of your hotel and plane costs from Europe. Does Liquid pay for your 10-minute drive to the facility? No, but they should. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hey, when did you swap to YouTube? I didn't swap to YouTube. I just stream on both at the same time. It's very cool. And the YouTube community I have is so beautiful. And they're so great. And I always respond to them. Alright. Let's go live. Oh, bet you weren't expecting Rizzy Glizzy, were you? Bet you weren't expecting the glizz. Right away. Doing some spins on you. Oh shit. Oh shit. Shit. Max, are you ready to head into Nubby P to riz up Queen Gyatsarek on your way to Ohio? What are you saying, man? Are we gonna really just start off the stream on some weird shit like that? Icy Veins sponsor? Yeah, shout out Icy Veins. Max, I know you just started, but it might be time to end stream. Facts. True facts. Dude, I think my guy's pretty much all ready for next week. Although, I figured out that I missed like a weekly last week. I just did... I just did the like searching for the light thing or whatever this week. Or whatever it is. The big weekly thing. I just did that. I didn't even do it last week. Let's fucking go. Max, would you play Mop Classic? I think I would, yeah. But I also thought I would have played Kata Classic, because that was like the first time I played. Kata's the first expansion I have any nostalgia for. But Mop is like truly the favorite time to play. But I don't know, just for whatever reason, I've never got into Classic because it always just seems like worse than Retail. Like Retail, every time I play Classic, I play for a short amount of time, and then I think about all the reasons why, all the like little decisions that have gone into making Retail the way it is, and it's like, I don't know, this is just like better, you know? Even if like you remember a time fondly, it's just like Retail, current Retail just diffs it. But that becomes less true as time goes on. Like I think, for example, like current WoW is kind of relatable to like Legion in a way. Like gameplay wise, a little bit, a couple of other things. But still like Kata's like still pretty far away, you know? Max, I think you're kind of quiet again. You were normal for a couple streams, but now you're quiet again. Dude, I went back and listened to my mic quality when I streamed from the Liquid facility. Bro, y'all weren't kidding, man. That mic was horrible. Like, I think it was like completely not set up or something. It was really bad. Let's go. When are you guys going to the facility? Yeah, I've answered that a lot. Soon, I guess, without having to go into specifics, you know. Will you be able to get it fixed before the race? Get what that wasn't my setup at the facility. That was so every esports facility has streaming pods. That was one of them. I won't be using that during the race. No one will be. It's just a thing that's there that I guess was recently renovated and not set up well. Yeah. I bring all my own shit to the event. I don't want to deal with setting up new things. Do you have an office? I like kind of have an office. Where I end up playing during the race is like one of the LCS team's review rooms. And it's just like a room that's just off on its own. I don't like to be near my players because, and I know sometimes they say this doesn't bother them, but I refuse to believe that. Like I remember there was a couple races we did where I sat right next to Fired Up, and like I listened to his POV and he can hear me IRL on like a slight delay, then he hears me on TeamSpeak. And that just has to fucking drive you insane. And I don't want anyone to have to deal with that. I think it's a distraction. Yeah, dude, you keep saying Dornagal's growing on you. Bro, I didn't like Dornagal. This is for a really childish reason. For the first day, and it was because I didn't know where things were, because obviously I've never been here before. So I was just like, wah, this place fucking stinks. And then I like kind of learned where things were now, and now I know where everything is, and I really, really enjoy it. I actually... recency bias for sure, but I think this is the best main city hub in a very long time. Like really, really, really good. Once you start going like best of all time, I think you're just making a stupid argument, because like that decision in people's minds is so dominated by nostalgia and not like unbiased reasoning, you know? It's just pure nostalgia for that, so. Or like subjective aesthetic reasonings. Like I said the other day that I think like besides the new one, like my favorite city is Dazar'alor. because the aesthetic and the vibe is just fucking insanely cool to me. Really, really nice. But then like some people hear that and they're like, it took too long to get places. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I just don't really care about that, you know? I think it looks really cool. It's just Dalaran because everything's easy to find. All right, point me to where the auction house is then, if you're not an engineer, if you could. Just mount up. Hey guys, I can do that. As well as I'm engineering on every character ever because it's the only one that gives you a combat benefit generally. But not everyone like that. Not everyone's like that, bro. Yeah, I mean, Dalaran is easily the most overrated city. But also, like, I don't even understand the point of arguing that. Like, you're basically arguing it because everyone says it's the best, and you know it's purely based on nostalgia. And what the fuck is the point of arguing with anyone that's going to argue out of nostalgia and emotion? You're just going to lose because they didn't use reasoning to get to their conclusion. So arguing with reasoning is you're not going anywhere, right? And also, who fucking cares about making someone else think that their city isn't their favorite, you know? Like, you can just like different stuff, and that's cool, you know? I have a hockey update. If you guys remember, there was a story I told you guys a couple months ago where I was playing in a division, and this team injured me for 6 weeks, and then they re-injured me when I came back. And they also, as they injured me, complained and emailed the director of hockey there that I shouldn't be allowed to play in that division, and got me kicked out of the division that I was playing with my friends. So that whole story, does anyone remember that? We went over that a couple months ago. Okay. So I played a playoff game last night against that team. It's actually probably going to be the last or one of the last hockey games I can play before progression. And we won. I've probably played harder than I've ever played in my life. I needed some closure, you know? I had to fucking take them out. We won, I thought it was 9-1, but they didn't actually count the last goal. It was 10-1. I had 9 points, 8 goals, and 1 assist. And I kind of validified their reasoning of wanting me to get kicked out of the division, which I now am. I can't play in that division anymore after that. But it was fucking worth it. It was I feel like that whole saga has come to a good conclusion. Also, they decided to leave the rink. They will not be playing there anymore. They went to a new rink. So I fucking sent them out packing too. Goddamn anime ending. Staying petty goes hard. Yep. Why can't you play in the division? Because it's like typically in men's league hockey, you want to like have skill parity throughout the league, right? You don't want to like show up to a game and have someone that's like too low level or way too high level. So what happened for me is I played travel hockey as a kid a lot, but then I didn't play for a lot of my adulthood, and then I started playing again recently, and I met a couple of my friends and I started playing with them in this division. I was somewhat okay for that division when I first came back, but I spent the last like 9 months playing hockey every day, meticulously trying to get better, and I got a lot better, and now I'm at the point where I definitely can't play in that division anymore. That's the only reason. And I was planning on not playing in there any anymore, but now it's a forceful thing. But it's fucking hype, dude. So we have a we had some closure on that story. Unfortunately, though, the finals for that division is next Saturday, and I will be unable to play in that game. Which is kind of sad, but timing, you know. Do you start the race Wednesday? Nah, the like heroic week starts Tuesday, which I'm actually really interested to see what kind of community interest is in heroic week. Like back in the day, dude, like Sepulcher, Battle of Dazar'alor, Castle Nathria, like heroic week has insane viewership and a lot of hype. And it was like really celebrated and everyone was having a good fucking time, you know? But this was 2 years ago because they didn't do this in Dragonflight. And Dragonflight, the like heroic week part of the simultaneous release, which was the first 2 days, everyone was just so mad. Everyone was just so mad because they're like, I wish we were in Mythic. But on heroic week, there's no threat of Mythic starting at any point. So I think I'm hoping it goes back to that. It's interesting just to see how the community feels after doing a expansion of simultaneous release. Like, you have to understand, guys, a lot of you guys who are watching my stream right now, how many viewers do I have? 1.2 on YouTube, 3K on Twitch. Okay, so like, you guys who are watching my stream right now, 30 minutes after I started it, you guys are like a little bit more tapped in than the average race viewer, right? Across all channels, the race has like over 100K concurrence pretty much at all times. So the vast majority of people intaking the race are not tapped into all the like little minor parts of it. They just like tune in and they're like, when's Mythic starting? Or like, how many splits are there going to be? And what's a split, you know? So like, it's more that, like, I wonder how people are going to interact with next week when this stuff starts happening. Just to see like if people get bored of the splits or if they actually enjoy them again when there's not Mythic randomly happening at any point. I've never watched the race. Dude, that's actually really interesting if you watch my stream daily or frequently, somewhat frequently, and you have never watched a race to World First. That is definitely interesting. I mean, I could kind of see it. Someone in chat said, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, well, you're about to you're going to learn real fast. You're more fun to watch outside of progression? Oh, that's not surprising, actually. Like, I feel like they're two different things. I actually always get this response. Whenever the race ends, I usually stream, like, the next day or the day after. And people are like, dude, that's crazy. I thought you'd want to take a break after all that. And then I say I miss streaming, and then viewers are often like, what the fuck are you talking about? You've been streaming all day, every day for the last 2 weeks. And it's like, but I wasn't really streaming, though. Like, this is streaming. Like, me talking to you guys back and forth is streaming. I don't do that at all during the race. It's as if you're like basically watching me, you're like looking through a window and watching me do something, watching us do something. But it's not, I'm not actually streaming, if that makes sense. And I enjoy streaming. I don't do it during the race, so it's basically like just a recording, even though it gets a lot more viewers. So I could see someone not being interested in the race, but being interested in my, like, content year-round, if that makes sense. I mean, why? I mean, if it's probably as clear as day as this, right? A lot of you guys watch my stream every day because I yap. But if during the race I'm not yapping, well, I am yapping, but I'm just yapping at my teammates and not at and with you, you know? Max, is there no potty C until the race is over? You'll see. Have you quit on Shaman? No, I think my characters are like all set up actually for for next week. I'm like, I mean, I could craft a few more 590s, I guess. I didn't do any of the renowned stuff. But I'm like 584. I think that's like pretty good going into next week. I think if you did like all the renowned stuff, you can be like 593 right now. Something like that. Does streaming put you at a disadvantage because others that may be one boss behind can yoink your strats? I think streaming is always a little bit of a disadvantage for every guild because of one thing. Like, I don't know. When people make... Have you guys ever raided in a guild where someone made a mistake and they didn't feel like they wanted to admit... Like, you think that they knew that they made a mistake, but they didn't quite want to admit that in front of their 20 acquaintances or friends in the raid there? Have you ever, like, experienced that? Okay, so imagine the pressure of that, but instead, like, 50,000 people just watched you make that mistake and are talking about it. And are maybe slandering you in Twitch chat, even though they could never play at this level. It's a different kind of pressure. It's a different kind of, It's a different kind of mental you need to have for that, and streaming brings that on, right? So, and even if you're not looking at chat, you've been here before and you know what's happening, right? And that can affect you. So I think streaming affects everyone a little bit generally. And then the other thing that streaming does is streaming is always a noticeable debuff on whoever is currently in the lead. And I don't think it really matters at all after that for anyone after them, except for the first thing that I just talked about. And to answer your question, yeah, I mean, it's a disadvantage, but it's just kind of what everyone does in WoW, you know? The Race World First has somehow been streamed in this game, even though it kind of don't really know how it ended up happening, but it's like an anomaly. It's a disadvantage, but what can you do? Max, how far into the Mythic week do you expect splits to go? I mean, there's always, like, things you have to do in Mythic week to gear. So, like, once Mythic comes out, you'll obviously... That's the first time Mythic Plus is there. So if people need to farm their crests, if people need to get specific Mythic Plus items that are, like, BIS for them, you know, you're going to have to spend some time doing that. And that's not necessarily splits, but I think it's the same thing to you all, right? Like, when you all think of splits, I think what you're thinking of is just time we spend not in Mythic Raid, right? Like, whether we're doing 4 hours farming Mythic Plus as a guild or spending 4 hours doing heroic splits, it's like the same thing. Those two things are the same. It just means no Mythic, right? So, like, you're basically asking in Mythic Week, how much time are we going to spend farming gear? I don't know the exact answer to that question. But I can tell you that we will be in Mythic on Tuesday. Like, the very first day Mythic comes out, we will be killing Mythic raiding bosses. Like, either instantly right away or very shortly after the reset. So it'll be instantly going in. But that doesn't mean that there won't be time we spend either at the end of nights or later in the week farming gear, because, like, that just has to happen, right? But yeah. Do you guys have an exact item level you're aiming for with splits? That's not really how that works. Yeah, but also don't trust me on that, because I'm famously, like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, I know generally, but, like, I don't handle the looting process. That is entirely delegated to Bubba. He is the loot czar. There's a reason for that too, because I'm impatient and I hate the boring gearing process and I just want to raid. If it was up to me, we would, like, cut half of our splits and just start raiding as soon as possible. I just want a game. So because of that, when we're in the process of looting, I just tell Bubba to, like, lock me in a closet for a little while, and then just tell me when it's okay to come out when we've farmed as much possible eye level as we can, and then we game. Are you guys going to the venue before or after heroic and normal splits? Both. Our European players get there tomorrow, and our North American players get there like on Thursday or Friday or something like that. Are you allowed to have multiple shifts of the raid team if you wanted to just raid for 24 hours straight? Yeah, you could do that. I think it'd be dog shit, though. Like having an A team or a B team, and then like the A team figures out this fight and then they go to bed while the B team progresses. The reality is these bosses are so hard execution-wise that it would take, on any boss that's relevant, it would take them the entire time of you being awake. Or of you being asleep just to get back to where you were, and then you would just start with the other people again. So it doesn't make any sense. I could see that being the case with a, I could see that being the case with like a Final Fantasy type fight. Because like Final Fantasy is like, the burden of killing a raid fight is way less on execution and way more about solving. Like basically the game gives you a bunch of clues as to how a mechanic works, but you don't see any reticles, and you have to like solve a way to deal with it. And then there is execution, and it's like between the 8 people you need to like all learn what it's like to be all 8 roles of the way you solve it, kind of thing. But just figuring the things out in Final Fantasy is significantly more of the challenge. And WoW, figuring things out is relevant, but so much more of it, and this can also be figuring it out, is the actual ability to execute it on a player basis and as a group. And there's a lot of changes you make there as well strategically, but it's just about like playing the game. It's just so unbelievably fucking hard to do these end bosses on like an individual player level, that having a B team, first of all, even like doubling your guild size and finding like the quality of the second group of people would be nowhere near the first one. It's just too high of a skill difference. So that wouldn't make it possible really. And then also it just wouldn't functionally work. People bring this up all the time. It wouldn't work in this game. If it did, we would do it. Max, do we know if there are any Giga Chinese guild eyeing up the title? Yeah, so like WoW is back in China again, and China introduced a like, if a Chinese guild wins the race to world first, they get like hundreds of thousands of dollars thing, and it like keeps going up every tier that they don't win. So there is some incentive for Chinese teams to like kind of band together and try to win, which is really cool. Chinese teams have banded together and created super guilds before. They've died a few times, and they've never gotten in any close in like modern WoW. But I don't know if that is happening. I'm completely untapped into the China raid scene. I don't know if they are doing that. I hope they do. I hope they are really competitive and good. Max, I asked a stupid question twice. Can you answer it? Well, of course, if it's stupid. All right, let's read it. Let's see if it's stupid. Max, have you ever considered sandbagging raid DPS on the early Mythic bosses in the hope Blizzard undertunes final bosses based on those numbers? Yeah, that is kind of a stupid question. It's not that stupid. You're kind of on the right track, but, I mean, the answer to that is no. Like, can you imagine if we're about to kill, like, Volcaros, like a single target early boss in Amirdrasil? And then we're about to kill it, and then, like, on comms, we're like, all right, everybody, we want to... Blizzard's going to use this to tune Smolderon or something, so make sure everyone just AFKs for the next 40 seconds so it looks like we did less damage. That's just dumb. If it was about playing bad talents or something from the beginning, that's just not real. The reality is, if you pull a boss like Smolderon, and it was and it's undertuned due to you using bad builds early, which is just a bad practice habit and everything, but just to say you did that, like, they would just buff Smolderon's health in your face after one pull. And they've done that before, by the way. And I'll give you another little hint. We're unintentionally already doing this. So let's say Blizzard did use an early boss to gauge our single target. I don't know. Just pick any fucking boss here. Like Lairdar, Naimu, anything. Anything before Smolderon, right? Do you guys think we've sent our crests by then? Do you think we've spent a single crest before we got to Smolderon? No. So, we haven't. It would be foolish to. You would lower your potential overall eye level. We did not spend a single fucking crest until we were on this fight. So, how would Blizzard have any fucking clue what our potential DPS power is going into this fight when we haven't spent a single upgrade resource on it? They couldn't. They couldn't know. It'd be how could you know? Right? You're basically sandbagging unintentionally because you're playing with 5 or 6 less eye level or something. So yeah, it's that's why that is the case. So it's kind of already happening. But again, even if you were to do it on purpose, or if you were to successfully not send upgrades and trick them, unless you one-shot these bosses, which you're not going to, they're just gonna they'll buff it in your face. So and they have before. Simulate it, dude. If only you knew how ridiculous of a suggestion is tuning not only single person DPS, but raid DPS on an actual raid fight, which isn't hitting a target dummy, by the way. So it has a million different variations that are different, and you'd have to find a way to sim, which like basically no one has actually figured out how to do ever, by the way. And then you'd have to also guess the amount of total power you would gain from spending crests, which varies person by person based on extremely specific drops you got or didn't get. Right? I mean, it's completely absurd. It's very, very complicated. How come there is no Chinese players in any of the NA or EU teams? Is it a language barrier? For instance, League imports Korean players for the NA teams all the time. I mean, there's a pretty easy answer for that. Number one, we've had multiple Chinese players in our guild. They were English speaking, but it was not like strong English, right? These were years ago. Shout out Supreme and Henry. We had one Chinese and one Taiwanese player. So think about it in the League, and so why does it happen in League, right? So Korean and Chinese players get imported to the LCS all the time, LEC. Well, like, I think it's kind of generally understood that the LCK and the LEC, what is it in LCK is Korea. What is the Chinese league called? Is it LEC? LPL? So LPL. So the LPL and the LCK are like kind of considered the like highest level of league being played, right? So naturally, when you have the LEC and the LCS recruiting those players, they're either players that are really good in those regions and are taking paydays to come somewhere where there's like crazy marketing, or they are like not quite able to make it in those leagues and they want to come over here because they'll have a chance to play professionally instead of academy and make more money and as a chance for like career development, right? But it's because those regions are already coming from a place where there's more talent. So generally speaking in WoW, the reason why that doesn't happen is that's because that's not true. WoW is bigger in NA and in EU than it is in Korea or China. So the talent being developed is obviously majorly focused in those two places. So while it could happen and literally has happened, it's just way less likely to happen because there's less talent being put into that area. Right? And we are actually recruiting new people. Like, we have a, like, 6-time Brawlhalla world champion Zoomer fucking, like, 19-year-old crazy player that we recruited this tier, right? Like, there is talent being infused into both regions all the time. But, like, think about it. If you are a really talented gamer in China or Korea right now, what percentage of them do you think end up wanting to put their talents towards WoW PvE versus something like League or Dota or basically like any other popular esport in that country? It's just WoW isn't very big in those countries, so like it's Valorant. Yeah, it's extremely unlikely. So like, why would that happen? There's just a lot more people in NA and EU that are playing WoW. Really, that is why that doesn't happen, right? You could look at the same thing with sports, right? Soccer players in the United States, as Europeans call it, or the rest of the world calls it football, right? Like, if you're a really high-level athlete in the United States, there is an unbelievably small chance that you're going to want to end up being a soccer player or a football player. Zero, like, I mean, like less than probably like 5%, maybe even less than that. Versus like in Europe, in South America, many other countries in the world, it's actually the majority of them are going to want to be that. So over time, you're going to produce less. Your national soccer team and your international players that are American are going to be not as good because our best athletes are not playing it, right? It is the exact same thing in this. What is it? Is Spirit Link Totem cooldown worth taking to bosses in the Race World first again? We miss maybe Sham. I mean, yeah, Spirit Link's always been good. It's a little bit better this expansion, right? It has like a little healing element to it. You know, all healers have cooldowns in some ways. Spirit Link's... I think Spirit Link is an overrated cooldown at a high level, and I think it is properly rated for... like mid-level, like your average Mythic guild. Like for example, I would take Barrier over Spirit Link all day in the Race World first. I just think it's a better button. But like, I don't think that's true for your guild. It's just because there's like, at this level, it's about being able to actually live something at all, and a few extra percentage of DR is just better than the other things that Spirit Link provides to you. Also, Spirit Link kind of by nature, Spirit Link by nature kind of carries the people who are failing with low health and helping offset it by people who prepared properly for whatever thing is, and it balances their health out. That's like kind of the design. At a high level, that's less important. Not irrelevant, but less important, right? But yeah, I don't know. If you're trying to say, if you're asking me if we're going to see Resto Shaman in the race, the answer... as with any class you guys ask me, is yes, that's the best class. When is tuning? Oh, that's a good point. There wasn't really... So I ended my stream last on Friday, 2 days ago, and I ended it... I ended it and I said, guys, I will end my stream so they post tuning hotfixes. And then they did. Except they weren't really tuning hotfixes. They were like tier bonus changes to like, they were either like buffing weak tier bonuses or nerfing strong tier bonuses, and then buffing or nerfing the classes to accommodate that. I don't think any of it had anything to do with tuning. Some of them might have resulted in your class being overall buffed or nerfed very slightly or something, but the point was basically when Blizzard wants a class, let's just say when your class obtains 2 and 4 piece, whatever percentage throughput increase you get from that, they want that to be pretty static across the whole game. And I remember seeing a couple of, again, sims or whatever, but I saw a couple of sim spreadsheets out publicly that were saying like some tier sets were like a 14% increase and some were 5. So clearly some tier needed to be knocked down a little bit to be as close as possible, and they always try to do that. There's usually every patch, there's like some tier that's way better than others. That's just how the game works. There's 39 specs, 39 tier bonuses, but that's pretty much what they were trying to do. And there will obviously be tuning in Heroic Week. They confirmed in that post that there would be Heroic Week tuning, though. Yeah, I don't think you needed a post to tell you that. It's unbelievably obvious that there would be tuning in Heroic Week, as there has been always. There's never been a Heroic Week ever where there has not been tuning. Max, are you going to stream Heroic Week? Yep. We will be streaming everything but Queen Ansarek. We will not be streaming any of our Queen Ansarek pulls on Heroic. On normal, we will, though. So y'all will see that. Yeah. Guys, that's not that's not a new thing. I don't think we've streamed our end bosses on Heroic in like... Well, sometimes we do in simultaneous release if we're like going right into the raid, but like usually the first night we get to it, we do it off stream so we can talk about the boss and like try stuff. Like for example, we didn't stream Fyrak because we were doing, you guys know the like CC strategy that you all use in P2 where you like grip the far guys and you do the knocks and whatever. So that was what we did, and we wanted to have that ready in heroic. We wanted to use our heroic kills to practice that, and we couldn't really do it on stream. So we streamed like I think our first few heroic fire act kills without doing the CC strat, and then for like 90% of the total kills we did it off stream. Actually, wait. I think we might be streaming Queen Answer X. I think we might be doing like the first few on stream and then we're doing like a strat thing. I don't know. It'll be something like that. It doesn't matter. We might not stream any of it. We might stream some of it. Who knows? Max, are you not doing any helper splits for Heroic and Surek? Totally depends. We are prepared to do Heroic and Surek entirely within the guild. If it's too hard to bring any helpers. Historically, end bosses in week 1 are too hard to have to carry people through, or at least not time efficient. We'll kill it a few times with all guildies, and then if it is like, oh, this is pretty easy, we could carry 5, 10 people through this and gain a few extra runs, and we have time to do that, we may do it. But we are doing the rest of the heroic splits completely with you guys, so like heroic splits, we'll be running multiple at a time, even starting on day 1. At some point on day 1, we'll be doing heroic, and you guys can sign up for that, and we will be giving you gold. I think it's 250k per heroic. You need to fill out your vault slots and shit. So if you guys have some characters and want to help out, that'd be very sweet. Max, do you think that rally has been nerfed too much or that it's in an okay spot? That's an interesting question. So I think Rallying Cry in dungeons has clearly been nerfed too much, and it should be doubled or tripled in value in a 5-man dungeon environment, so non-raid environment, like they have done with many other cooldowns, for sure. As far as for a raid, I want to say Rally's in a pretty good spot. So what can you really compare Rally to? So a healer, a Holy Paladin can do Aura Mastery, which is the same radius as Rally. So it's like, has some extra benefits besides purely stacking things like Spirit Link and Barrier and stuff like that. And Aura Mastery is roughly a 9% damage reduction, which is really not very strong. And Rally is a 10% health increase. It scales off of other health increases, scales off of the fort buff, scales off of Ancestral Vigor, all kinds of stuff like that. But it increases your health by 10%. Now, is a 9% DR or a 10% health increase better? Definitely the 9% DR. But for a lot of reasons you use that, you're basically using it so one thing doesn't kill you, in which they can actually both have effectively the same value as long as you're not running and you can actually top yourself before the next thing and you don't die, which is most mechanics, right? I would say when Rally from all the way from Legion through the beginning of Dragonflight, you didn't look at warriors as warriors, honestly. You looked at them as rallying cries. Like, you would look at a raid fight, you would look at a certain mechanic, and you'd be like, okay, we need a rally every single time that happens. And then it's like, okay, how many warriors do we need to accomplish that? And that's actually how you made raid comps. I think that's bad. That's too many. That's too strong. Whatever. Like that, whatever that is, that's too good. Obviously, if you're a warrior one trick, you're like, no, it wasn't. That was great when I just got free raid spots, right? But if you're looking at it from like the health of the overall game, it didn't make sense. Nerfing it to 10% might have been a little too much. Like right now, like if you're bringing an extra warrior, I'm not thinking like, oh, that's cool, you get an extra rally. Like it's, even at this level, it's pretty fucking insignificant. But it's not nothing. Like for example, Rallying Cry on its own is more utility that you are bringing to the raid as a warrior than, I want to say, like every class in the game besides like Shaman, Druid, Evoker, and like that's it, maybe? So like, I don't know. That seems pretty good. Paladin? Yeah, Paladin brings a lot. Maybe Paladin's there, yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of making shit up. Max, any thoughts on boomies after buffs? Are they still shit? They're the best. How would you go about preventing burnout from the grind of WoW at the higher level or just in competing gaming in general? Have a good work-life balance and don't overdo something and get burnt. I mean, everyone kind of experiences burnout. Like anyone who's gotten good at anything, like truly great at anything in their life, not anything, not gaming related, literally anything, music, teaching, fucking engineering, anything. You have probably gone so hard in it because you loved it at some point to experience some level of burnout. And it's really just like when you really love something, you can just overdo it. You can listen to a song too many times and it's a great song, but you just like overdid it, you know? Like that's burnout kind of. I don't know. I think burnout just kind of happens unless you are really smart and know how to avoid it. It's probably like a getting older thing. Doing things in moderation. Just fucking send it, man. It'll be alright. Take breaks, you know? Guys, we're in a cult. Let's fucking go. Max, what do you think is the most underrated damage profile in Raid? And do you have an example of where it's really good on a specific fight? Yeah. Classes that do damage permanently. So, like, you know, if you were to draw it in paint, right? So, like, here's the damage. How much damage you're doing is the left vertical line, and the bottom line is the fight length. So there are classes that, like, burst big on the pull. They're, like, pretty good. They had another burst at 2 minutes, right? A little bit less than the pull, maybe. No lust. And then, like, it's just, you know, that's the damage profile. All right. And then you had, like, Venthyr Moonkins, right? What's Venthyr Moonkin? Venthyr Moonkin was, like, you know, like, literally all of their damage and then, like, nothing. And then all of their damage and then nothing. The class that is the most underrated in Raid, by far, is the class that it does this. Because it's not flashy, it's not cool, you never really pop off, but you're just always doing damage. Those are the classes that are really good. Because typically in WoW, it's pretty rare, actually, for hard bosses to just be like, your damage only matters at the end of the fight. What I mean by that is, the only time in which the damage in the fight matters is when the boss dies, right? So like a 100-0 boss, like Sludge Fist, right? Every bit of damage you do on Sludge Fist before the moment he dies is not relevant. Because there's no phase, there's no health-based phase changes or adds you have to swap to. A lot of really hard WoW bosses have little mini checks all the time. It's either like a P1 DPS check or an add DPS check. Like Sylvanas, for example, you had like a DPS check for every boss burn, but also you had to kill every add-in time and you had to link it up with the other side and stuff like that. So there's just mini checks on basically every hard boss. Fire Rack. Every time in P1 you had to beat a certain timer, so there was a DPS check there. And then you did the intermission and there was a DPS check there. And then you got into P2 and you had to kill the 2 adds in time. There was a DPS check there. You had to heal the healer adds. There was a healer check there. Right? You had to, like, every part of the fight. At Tindral, you had to kill the roots fast enough or you died. Like, there's mini checks all the time. Right? So, oftentimes, if you have too much of the black and red line here, you have to, like, offset your cooldowns a lot to have something really sustainable. I think the time I think about this the most was actually Ashara. So, like, Ashara in P2, I guess P3 technically, had like these ads you had to kill that were sitting on the fonts, and you needed to kill them all by the end of the fight, and each one of them had like a mini DPS check, and we were stacking fire mages, which were all like 2-minute bursts and then like nothing. And
we weren't running a Shadow Priest, and Shadow Priest was like the quintessential blue line in that tier. It just did damage all the time. And I remember us swapping a Shadow Priest or like seeing it in farm, and it's like it trivialized a phase that was otherwise impossible, not even by adding any more damage. In fact, we lowered our overall raid DPS, but actually shifted when the damage was happening by taking away more burst and adding more sustain, and it turned the phase into an absolute joke because of the profile. And basically every hard boss has something like that, and because they're never flashy and they never like pop off at the start of a pull and everyone talks about how strong they are and they get PI'd and shit, but those classes are usually like the most valuable. Max, does Dratnos request that you call him Lord Dratnos outside of stream? I'm trying to understand the ego. Yeah, he's actually... Guys, we have to stop complimenting him. He's getting a huge head. The other day, we were about to start the podcast, and Dorky was, like, rambling about something, and he said, shut up. And then no one said anything for, like, 10 seconds. Then he goes, all right, guys, it's episode 40-something of the Potty C. Like, it didn't even fucking happen, bro. He's a menace. And no one knows it besides me. Is he even reading YouTube chat? Yes, I am. Stay small. Max, what's your favy dungeon of all time? Ooh, I don't know. Probably Freehold or some shit like that. Ooh, actually, no, you know what? Are we talking Mythic Plus dungeons, or are we talking, like, dungeons? Because I think it would be Gambit. But that's not really an answer, because the dungeon is Tazavesh, but I like Freehold more than Tazavesh, but I like Gambit more than Freehold. Streets is better. There is absolutely no way you just said Streets was better than Gambit. Streets is actually good too, but ain't no way. I'm actually really interested in how the general game audience interacts with Mythic Plus this season. I think the old affixes being gone and the new affixes being Kiss Curse is going to be overwhelmingly positive. That's going to be... People are going to really like that. There's something I think people are going to hate at every single level, and that is the new death timer. At high keys, I think the high key community has kind of expressed not liking that. But bro, the amount of keys that are gonna get absolutely slaughtered in week 1 of this Mythic Plus coming out, because every death is 15 seconds, is a lot. And I actually, of all the changes they made in Mythic Plus, I understand why they did them. I don't think a few of them are gonna work out. I'm not sure about the there's no push week, it's push week every week thing. I'm not sure about the high keys not having the really cool new affixes they just made. I'm not sure about the keys and high keys scaling more than they should. I'm not sure about the mobs having more like interrupty type things, and stops are less powerful than interrupts now. Like, I'm not sure about any of that, but I know why they did all of them. Like, I can directly explain to you the problem they were trying to solve by doing all of that. What I do not get is who in the game wanted to have deaths be 3 times more penalizing in dungeons at any level. High level, mid level, low level. I don't understand what problem it's solving, other than expanding one that already existed, which is deaths being the main important factor and making them even worse. explain the changes like I'm 5. I don't want to do that. There are some like Mythic Plus focused content creators that if they haven't done this already, they're crazy, but if they're smart, they'll be releasing a video soon that for anyone who stopped playing after Dragonflight or Shadowlands and is coming back now, they'll like kind of explain like a kindergarten teacher very basically everything that is changing with Mythic Plus. But I don't like doing videos like that. It's boring. I don't like explaining the news, you know? I don't like that shit. And there are people that are way better at it than me. Can you explain how to find those videos? Yep, YouTube. Max, can you explain the conflict in the Middle East then? Yeah, let's just fucking get into it. Let's just get into it. That is what you guys come here for. Takes on world events. Let's go. Culture war shit. Let's get into it. Talk about some religion. Cult. Okay. Speaking of which, I had a fun time. Wait, I don't know why I said speaking of which. This has nothing to do with Colts. I had a fun time watching football today. That's where I was going with that. Absolutely insane segue, but I fucking missed the NFL season. Europeans can't relate to this at all, but had a great time watching football today. I'm talking about our football, the one where we barely touch the ball with our foot. You know, it's an EUL. EUL, I'll say it. I don't even really know why. But take the L. Hold it. Are you going to do the pineapple game today? Ooh, maybe I should do that. Because I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. I won't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow until the second I wake up. Like every day. Amen. Just make it up. Dude, are all my characters ready? Alright, my monk's 584. That's passable. Wait, do I have all my stuff done, though? Actually, no, I don't. I think I need to do the Priory. I need to do the Priory because I need the rep, like the rep weekly. Did you get all your Delve keys? To be honest with you, probably not. I don't know how many I have, but I've not been playing a lot, so let's see how many keys do I got? Key. I don't see anything in my bag, so probably nothing. It's probably in your currency tab, right? Restored coffer key. I got 4 of those bitches. We're chilling. I'm missing a ton. But the trick is for me is I don't play the game next week, so it doesn't matter at all. The race is going to end, and I'm going to have you guys carry me through Heroic, and I'm going to have every single item from that place. It'll be all good. Dude, to be honest with you, I don't even really know how to get the keys outside of, like, the weeklies. And, like, sometimes there's some world quests where you get, like, 25% of one. Yeah, this thing, the coffer key shard. But the thing is, I don't want to know either. So it's all good. Do I have any, like, epic world quests I can do? Isn't there like some giga epic world quests? Guys, do I have to do this thing?
The quest icon makes it seem like it is something you should do for sure. What is it, Max? As a raid leader, do you learn and understand how each class plays rotation-wise, etc.? And does it help to know that as a raid leader, or do you let your players be the experts of gameplay when you're raid leading? It's really, really important for me to know how your class does damage, when your class does damage, and what your class can do that other classes can't, and what every class in the game is good at doing and why. Like 3 target, 2 target, AoE, how many talents do you lose from single target to AoE? Like that kind of stuff I have to know, and I know it like the back of my hand. And I constantly ask them for information like that, and we talk about stuff like that all the time. That's important. As far as like rotationally how to play the classes, it's completely irrelevant. It's important to know how they're doing damage and why, which you just kind of know from playing the game forever, but you always stay updated on changes. But the other stuff doesn't matter, no. How much do you know about healers? Less, because we have that, like, someone's entire job is handling healing. Plus, healing is just so unique, and I don't have experience healing, so it's not my main thing. But I would say that I know the same thing about healers, though. Like, I don't need to know how they heal, but I need to know... Well, no, I do need to know how they heal. I need to know if they're, like, ramp healers, if they have big healing every minute, 45 seconds, 2 minutes, like how much you can rely on them for one specific thing. So like when we're coming up to a part in the raid and I see that we're down with all of our cooldowns, but we have a ramp coming up, I know we're fine. If we don't, and I know we're about to take damage from the fight, and I can see that they're dry, and they're all probably worrying about themselves at that time, and this hasn't been planned out, we're at a new part of a fight, I might like call for everyone to use a health stone or a health pot on this thing because I know that nothing is coming. Like that level, but I don't know how to heal. I don't like healing. That's usually something you have like a specialist handle as their only job, which we do. Max, didn't you say that not being involved in healing CDs took you out of the raid too much a couple tiers ago? Yeah, there was a tier like that. I forget exactly when it was. It was Sanctum. Like, we went from me calling all healing cooldowns in Castle Nathria to me having that fully delegated in Sanctum, and it did take me out of the raid a lot, and it was bad. And I think what we have landed on is, while we're learning a fight, based on the dynamic amount of damage we're receiving and how much healing we have, because something that's true about healers is, like, for the first, like, 5-10 pulls of the boss in P1, like, you're going to need cooldowns at different times because your healers are getting better at healing the fight, right? Just as well as you guys get better at doing damage, healers get better at, with repetition, at figuring out how to heal the fight the most efficiently, right? So, like, you might have needed a ton of cooldowns for something, one, like, on pull 2, but on pull 8, you're just healthy and you don't, and you can move them. So, like, early in progression, a lot of times I'll, like, move stuff around as things are changing to see farther in a fight, so it's very dynamic. But then as we're settling into, like, a multiple 100 pull fight, that's almost, it's like, scientifically fucking spread out and shit based on healer input and our healer officer, like, coming up with that kind of stuff, and then I take myself out of it. It's like a mix. Someone in chat said I don't get worst on the worst from pull 1. Amen to that, buddy. Always be bad. Then you're never disappointed either, because you know what it is. Max, how many people are looking at the numbers during a race? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, the pull ends, and then there's just, like, a group of people that are like, let's fucking look at the numbers. Like, what numbers? Like, what are you fucking talking about? Just all the numbers? Just, like, look at these fucking numbers. What can we do with these numbers? Max, how many people are involved in Liquid's race? Like 40 or 50 more? Way more. Thousands, because all of you guys are involved too. It's a cult. Oh my god, it's a cult. Stay culty. It's a computer game, so numbers, yeah. Yeah. That would be a good bit, yeah. A pull ends and I just like pull down my glasses and pull out a calculator and I'm like, let's fucking crunch these numbers real quick. Oh, yes. We're doing the right thing, guys. Don't worry. Let's pull again. Everything added up. Max, is the crafting exploit still working? I heard some things these days, you know. I have no idea. There was a crafting exploit in like the first week where you could like keep sending crafting orders and it wouldn't take the crests or something, or other people could send them for you and you just kept logging off to keep doing it. Like that was the thing where like all of Now's gear just went away. It was one of those two things. I think that's been fixed. I have no idea if there's any other crafting exploit. Right now, if you've just been playing the game on your main and doing all the required weekly content and you've been doing your renown optimally, I'm pretty sure, and I haven't been doing this, you can have 590 in every slot crafted just from Weathered Harbinger crests. If you've been playing since either the early access or the regular release. So I don't know what other crafting exploit or thing happens, but you don't need to exploit to do that, which is fully natty. Max, are you going to go hard in Mythic Plus again? It was enjoying to watch you in Dragonflight. Yeah, that was so fun. The Havoc Season 3. I want to say, like, definitely yes. Because, like, what Mythic Plus is for me, I don't really care for Mythic Plus, just, like, doing the same thing over and over again. But what I do love playing is WoW. I love WoW gameplay. When there's, like, a spec that's just hitting, dude, it's just... you just want to play it, and Mythic Plus is kind of the, after weekly raid is over, like it's the best outlet to just play the game, right? It's the thing you can spam over and over again, which is why I end up doing it. But yeah, out of like Windwalker, Frosty K, and Enhance, whichever one of those I like the most, I can guarantee you I will be fucking doing Mythic Plus on that this season. They are all so fun to me, and if I just have to pick one of them, oh my god, yeah, it's gonna happen for sure. If you had to pick right now, which one? I think Monk, because I'm always biased a little bit towards Windwalker. I love playing this spec when it's, you know, playable. It's good. Has a good rotation going on. That being said, Enhance and Frost are like really, dude, honestly, I fucking love all these classes. I don't really know yet because, like, you know what's going to let me know? Just doing real content on all of them, but we haven't been able to do that. Like, there's no way to feel these classes in real content at all at the moment. Heroics die instantly, right? So, like, one of them might be more fun. I genuinely don't know yet. Stop yapping, Max. What else do you want me to do? Come on. Oh, wait, I gotta do Priory. Let's queue a random Priory. Is that what I need? Does it have to be on any level? Help Sister Etna Blyaze fight the Priory. Max, teach the monk rotation? No. Any level? I'll probably do Heroic. It's probably the fastest. If you do normal, you might get carried by some 70s.
But I'm thinking if people are still leveling this late into the expansion, it might actually be a lot worse. Wait, follower dungeons though? Oh, you're right. I forgot. I don't even... How do you do follower Oh, right here. Hey. Good shout, chat. I actually haven't even done one of these. I think I did a few when I was leveling because you have to, but yeah. By the way, I think so far the biggest W of the War Within, which maybe isn't that big of a competition because... Actually, the biggest W of War Within is definitely warbands. Let's back up a little Let's back up a second. It's warbands for sure. But outside of warbands, Blizzard's emphasis on being able to play the game solo. So follower dungeons, being able to do solo raids soon, delves being a gearing option next week. Just everything about that, I think, has just worked out really well. And follower dungeons are oftentimes faster than like just queuing for things because I don't know, the followers are just better than the people you queue with usually, unless you're queuing with people you know. Can you what's the fast way to do follower dungeons, by the way? Do you just like pull for your guy? Do you like pull everything for them? Wait, what does this thing do? Toggle to allow a follower to lead the way. I think you want to lead the way and then just have them tank it, right? I'm going to lead the way. This will work. Oh no. This tank is not very good at grouping, unfortunately. They'll pull really small if they lead. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, saving the healer. Alright, nice grouping. Captain Garrick, you absolute monster. Dude, Captain Garrick is a fucking beast, by the way. Stunning that. And a little touchy D here. Beautiful job, followers.
Shaman, your training grounds fall to the intruders.
All right, follow me, guys. We're not. No. Hey. Hold the fuck. Why did we? Hey, I'm leading the fucking way right now. Guys, come on. Chainmail. I don't even want to waste a Fist of Fury on this guy. He's not even worth it. Alright, guys. We're following me, by the way. We are following me. Follow the glizz. Let's go. Mount up, everybody. Let's go. Come on. Yes, sir. Yep. No ninja pulls here either. You guys ready? Yeah, they're ready. Come on. Let's go. Before the ring goes away. Oh, that's fine. We're gonna pull these anyway. Bro, that legit scared me. Like I saw a ghost. Yeah, I can't believe I started a sentence with the biggest W of the War Within, and I was actually not going to say warbands. That is... It's objectively false. Warbands are so good that they would have probably... I wonder if on follower dungeons if I can pull the boss without the minis. Probably. Yeah, do you think they'll follow me? Run it right down the middle, boys. They would have... Like, you can look at multiple mistakes Blizzard's made in the past, like, you know, many years, many expansions, and warbands would have almost single-handedly fixed the problems. Let's go, Rizzard. Rizzy G. Max, do you think Blizzard will add AI to the game? I don't know. They're a big company, and all the big companies probably want to add AI because cost cutting and stuff like that. What would be a good use of AI? Dude, I have an idea. They still make raids made by real humans every season. So, like, they're going to come out with this raid now, and then in 5 or 6 months, they'll make another raid. Those are purely done by humans, right? But every week, they add every week or every 2 weeks or maybe like 3 to 4 times a season. They'll just add a... Or maybe just not even week. Maybe you can actually just infinitely spawn. Like, basically feed an AI just... and have them understand raid boss design, not at a super high level, but just like feed them every raid boss that's ever existed and understand why things are made and whatever. And then just have them just create, they're not going to be great raid bosses, but maybe like a 6 out of 10 or something, you know, like a okay fight. And you could like I always talk about how the race is so fun because it's like one of the few times you can, you know, clear really, really fucking cool, unique raid fights. And just imagine if you could literally endlessly do that. That would be so fun for me. Because, like, pretty much anytime I ever get bored with WoW is when I'm doing something again. When I'm doing farm, when I'm doing Mythic Plus dungeons after I've already figured it out. What's really, really fun for me specifically is figuring something out the first time. So, purely for me, it would be like... if I want to figure out a raid boss, I can just do that today. I can just have a raid boss spawned in front of me with, like, random themes and a bunch of abilities. You know? If that was actually good, that would be insane. That would be so cool. What is it? Or they could pay people to do that? I mean, yeah, but like, okay. If they were to just make... You can't do that infinitely, though. Like, or even if you were to make a new raid boss every week, they could do that. They just have to hire, like, a shitload more people. Or they could do the... thing that's usually the hold off there is this is a business problem, right? It's just how much things cost, and that's why they don't do that, and this would alleviate a lot of the cost. I'm just trying to cook of ways I could think of it being cool. It's not easy to find boss designers. It's not only cost. Yep, true. It's a very rare skill set and thing where you can get experience.
From a place of contemplation to an uprising. Why? She has always
boys, let's go. All right, my followers are back here. Let's go, boys.
But to turn against us is madness.
Max, up your warbands to 5 and let your let your warband be your follower dungeon. This is something I've heard a lot. Sounds like an absolute slam dunk. And I think it is only a matter of time before they do that. Well, first of all, your warband is more than 4. It's like your whole account is your warband. Only the 4 show up on the screen, right? So, like, I feel like what you just mentioned is, I think, is a guarantee. Like, that will happen. They said in an interview it's being it sounds like they've literally said that they will do this, which I definitely think is smart. Well, that hurt. I didn't think I was in danger. Yo, heal me. Who's healing in this dungeon? Is it Krenna? Krenna, let's pick that shit up, by the way. You're not even spec'd into Resta right now. You're just spec'd into Druid. That's insane.
Beledar is the crucible. It burns away weakness. Its blinding light reveals the strength. We Arathi, an army of the risen. The Arathi will defeat the Nerubians.
Also, this paladin is cheating. I've seen him taunt multiple mobs within like 2 seconds before. When people can't even do that. Dude's out here hacking the game. Krenna has a 3-year-old screaming in the background. Cut her some slack. Facts.
Even in death.
Come on, boys. Don't pull it. Don't pull it. Don't pull it. Oh. Garrick. Bro. Are you fucking kidding me, man? I clipped my last thing of Fist of Fury there. I did it on purpose, but probably wasn't worth it. I think that's like never worth it, actually. It's so strong. Alright, let's go. Come on, boys. Pull the boss.
Flame will cleanse your transgressions.
Oh, pulled extra ads in. Fuck it.
My place be purified. Burn by sacred flame.
I had to karma. Alright, she's leaving. Dude, I almost killed Garrick by stacking all that shit up. Both sides of the stairs aggro? Oh, I didn't know that.
My place be purified.
Fuck you, buddy. You cannot purify me.
Flames take.
Bro, I'm gonna hit that fucking little spin on this shit. Oh, I'm gonna die. All good. I'm actually dead. Please, avenge me. I'm fucking up. How did that... That was an How am I alive? How am I alive, though? Alright, we did it. Good job, followers. On God. Leaving with Krenna dead, by the way. Not even rezzing her.
It is done. These zealots.
Bro, she surpassed me even having to click on the res. She just willed me to live. Insane. Yo, thanks. Oh, what do I want rep with? What rep do I want, chat? My rep's trash everywhere. Assembly? Hype. Renown 5. We're fucking moving up in the world, chat. I think that's max renown. Let's go. I could probably do a few more things. I think I can get more, I can get more bountiful delve keys maybe for next week. Get a little stronger. It would basically be like coffer key shards is what I'm looking for, right?
Our miners had to leave their tools behind when the Nerubians attacked. Please retrieve them.
The weekly chest? I think I did all the weeklies already. Do this secret assignment in Halifal? I think I already did that too. Yeah. My guy is a beast. I don't think I've done it on every character though. I could check. Dog check? We got a dog moving around? Ella. Ella, come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, you're so big. Come here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a little dog check for the stream. So good. So happy. Well, this little baby. Hello. Dude, she is a sleeper dog all day until she gets up. And whenever she gets up, we want to make sure that we say hi while we can. You know? What is it? What's the fastest way to farm? Okay, you guys still think Valor Stones exist for a reason? Like, why are we farming Valor Stones? I feel like Valor Stones kind of makes sense at the beginning of the expansion, but like mid-season, anytime you're like, oh, I'm out of Valor Stones, I need to spam X thing, you're like, why does this exist, you know? That's why I feel like it's kind of bad, but maybe I'm wrong. Hey. You want to go lay down? Yeah, I think she does. Go on. Go. Okay, no. Go lay. Okay, go on. Ella, come on. Come on. Do you want to? No? Okay. She just wants to hang out. How do we help during splits? I can pull up a tweet. All right, Ella, go lay down. Very good, very good, very good dog. Huge dog. Insane dog. I think we tweeted about it recently. Twitter, Liquid Guild. Here we go. Okay, we're doing some guides. Okay, none of these are actually what I'm trying to show you. Oh, here it is. We need your help with our split raids in Nerebar Palace. Game with us and get some coins for your time. So, if you just game with us, that's it. You get a bunch of gold. It's cool. And you can sign up right there. Which, man, do people need gold right now because crafting is hell expensive. Actually, crafting is probably more expensive at the beginning of the expansion as it will be going forward, though. Just because, like, I don't know, like, if you wanted to be max eye level, which, again, don't really know if it matters that much, you just have to craft, like, every slot. I think Blizzard's probably really happy with crafting. And here's my gauge of that. Most guilds I know of right now at all levels have had some kind of conversations to make sure that there are crafters for each profession, and then within some professions, people who specialize in different things. So it's easier to craft come time for the season. And I think if Blizzard knows that what I just said is true, I think to them, that's a huge, huge W. I think Blizzard, that was probably their intended goal. They want that level of, like, communication and, like, social value, right? And I mean, honestly, it sounds like it's a healthy thing for the game for that to be true, right? By limiting concentration like that. So I don't craft at all. So my opinion, grain of salt, just like from overall game perspective, that sounds healthy. And I bet Blizzard's really happy that that was the outcome that actually happened.
It is an excellent day for a race. Come fly with us.
Most people who never touch the crafting in my guild have done a lot of crafting this launch as there was not much content. So that plus crafting all the 590 makes the materials way more expensive. Yeah. Yeah, wait. What is that person in chat with the mouth? That's crazy. Why'd you post the mouth? Don't do that. What's the best mount in the game? Ooh. Is it the rooster? The old roost? I don't even know where my rooster is. Oh, I think I unfavorited it. Because it was, if you had any ground mounts on your favorite, it like just wouldn't let you fly at some point. Yeah, you can dragon ride on the old rooster though. That kind of sucks. That one's pretty good. Astral Cloud Serpent has always gone pretty hard. Mim's Head's up there. Maybe regular Spectral Tiger, non-Swift. Zulian Tiger. Yeah, Zulian Tiger actually does look sick. What is a split raid? I've explained this a lot. So I'm not going to explain it again. So I'm going to explain it in a different way that I've explained it before. So I'm not going to explain to you how gearing in this game works and why you do splits, but I will tell you why it is specifically called a split raid. Because when you're raiding all with your guild, you're all together. There's no split. So you run 2 runs instead of 1, and you split up your mains and your ults. That's why it's called a split. Or now in the Race World First, the reason it's called a split is you're literally splitting up your raiders into different groups and then filling those groups with helpers. So that's why they're called splits, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, we call all of our characters that aren't our main our buckets. So you have 15 characters, one of them's your main, and the other 14 are your buckets. I don't really know why they're called buckets, but they are. It's because they're throwaway. No, I think Shaq just made it up. You guys see we only have 4 hours of maintenance announced on Tuesday. I wonder if that'll get extended. I would think no, because usually what takes them a long time to do in maintenance is Mythic Plus, but there is no Mythic Plus. You know? So Heroic Week, just so you guys want to know this, the Heroic Week average maintenance time, regardless of what is stated, is usually around 3 to 4 hours. Like past 6 or 7 years. But all of those had Mythic Plus coming out at the same time. And Mythic Plus won't be out. And if you remember, if you've ever been around when this maintenance is happening, there's like randomly runs showing up on Raider.io and stuff because the devs actually like do every single dungeon in Mythic Plus to make sure it's working properly. I don't know. There has to be a better way to test it than that, but that's what they do. That can't happen because there's no Mythic Plus, right? So that will probably make the Mythic maintenance longer, but should make tomorrow's or Tuesday shorter. Please say you're joking about that Mythic Plus testing. No, I'm not. Like, you guys can probably verify this too. This is like a common talking point during maintenances every tier. You can like look at Raider.io and you can see runs being cleared while the servers are down for maintenance. It happens almost every raid. They're just probably making sure that shit worked.
Has there been any punishment for the severed threads abusers? No. So far, Blizzard has not punished anyone for any exploits that have been done at the beginning of this expansion, and there are still people that exploited rep that have not had it rolled back. And even the people who did have it rolled back had no punitive measures. So, still kind of doing the same dumbass shit. Brand got rolled back. Oh yeah, that's true. Brand got... Well, no one got punished, though. There's a difference between something being rolled back and then that rollback having punitive measures to it. Like, they rolled you back, yes, but they also punished you. Like, for example, when some of our players did the seed thing before Amir Drasil, they were punished to a seed level to where it was literally impossible to get the max level benefit, which is why you did it. And they also removed things that you could never get again. And they stated to us, yes, we understand we rolled you back farther than you were, but this is intended as a punitive measure. They literally punished us on purpose for doing it. So far, that has not happened to anyone who has exploited this expansion. Still time for them to fuck the severed thread abusers, but I kind of doubt it. No, I don't think they're going to do anything. Is Liquid going to the facility this week? Yep. Then what's the point of reporting it and not doing it? Yeah, no, they tell you to report exploits and not do them. But then you can be left in a situation that's worse off than someone who did it. So it's just a weird situation. Like we are probably more risk averse to exploits in this season because a few of our players did one last season and we got punished for it. So naturally, what does punishment do? It deters you from trying to do it again, right? You don't want to deal with the punishment. If you're never punished, what do? You don't change what you're doing because why would you? There's no fallback. But yeah, they don't seem to be doing anything about it this time, which is definitely frustrating. Like reporting things, not doing them, other people doing them, not being punished, in some cases not even being rolled back. Do you think that would change our approach to reporting things and not doing them going forward? I mean, that's you know, that's it's hard to do that, you know. At the same time, Sneak.Lua went completely unignored. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, this is all before the raid. There was an exploit done on an end boss last year in the race, and there's been no punishment for that either. And that sets an even more dangerous precedent, because how can you tell us not to exploit in raid when you can exploit in raid and nothing is done about it, right? Like, I just wish it was one or two ways. You could exploit and the worst that could happen is they could roll you back and everyone knew that and it was never any other outcome. Or I wish if you exploited, you were afraid to lose your account and then just no one would ever do it and you wouldn't have to think about other people doing it and you not doing it. But like being in our position, my position, and having to decide what to exploit, what not to exploit, what exploits to report to them and which ones to do and then ask for forgiveness later is like just an insanely convoluted mess, you know? It's like, I don't even know. It's so weird. Pineapple game? Oh, let's do the fucking pineapple game. Let's fucking go. Where is it? I'll search for it. Pineapple. I'm discovering right now I do not know how to spell pineapple. I have to. It has to be just pine and then apple, right? P-I-N-E apple? Oh, GG. Let's fucking go. They call me young Merriam-Webster. I can't find it. Is it on like Wowhead or something? You guys keep posting about it. That makes me think that Wowhead just like typed it at some point and made an article about it. That's usually how that works. Let's scroll down. I'm not looking at the actual text. I'm like just looking at the thing and hoping I see a pineapple. Did I pass it? Fuck. Did I get baited by no image? Fuck, I knew it. Oh, I guess I could have seen it from that. Alright, let's do it. Let's try to learn, chat. Let's try to learn. Run game. Is it insanely loud like it is usually? Please don't be loud. This game may contain void touch pineapples. Do you want to proceed? There's no option though. Beautiful. Hope this is DMCA free. Let me get my tactical gamer mouse for this. Hold for rudimentary implants. Alright, we're gonna turn this down a little bit. What the fuck is going on with this? Bro. I'm trying to scroll, it ain't working. It's like bugged out. Look at my settings. W computer. W. By the way, I'm going to forget that I turned Firefox down one day, and we're going to be watching a YouTube video, and you guys are all going to be screaming at me to turn it up, and I'm going to do that really cursed plugin where I, like, increase it by 600%, and it's going to be peaking. It's going to be so good. Q is cure your wounds, so Q is heal. I don't know, man. It'll be alright. We're good. Actually, wait. I want to change the key bindings. Let's do some strafe key bindings if we can. Can you actually change it? Oh, you can. Let's do this. Can I do mouse keybinds? No way. That would be absolutely insane if that was true. Move left. Move right. Move up. Move down. Nice. Interact. F for sure. And what do you think about a good heal? Maybe T, chat? Think about nice T. Use pineapple, Viston. There you go. Let's go. Let's do some strafe. Some strafing. Olgrax the Pineapple Devourer. Let's go. Okay. Oh, I have to shoot. Sorry. Fucking destroying the boss right now. Sorry. I don't want to hit my friends, though. That's fine. Split damage with teammates. Why are you guys going down here? Oh my god. Am I gonna... Oh. This is on the pole, too. Dude, it's so weird how this boss has, like, a... Like, why is it... How did it learn how to do shadow stuff? Who taught it this? Anduin? Yeah, Anduin does that. Click up dead ads and feed into the boss. Can I pick them all up? Oh, no. You're right. That is actually how it would work. You can't do any damage right here. So you just have to run... Oh, there is a speed boost, right? Extra action button, maybe? Oh, you have to hold this permanently to move like this? That's interesting. Why would you ever let go of it? Let's go. And then it just repeats. W. W boss. W boss.
Boots of Tactical Reposition. Automatically moves your character just one step every 30 seconds to avoid AFK detection. Oh, I needed that. Beautiful. Second boss, W. The raid splits into 2 groups. Your group stays here. Okay. The groups will take turns going to the other realm. Alright, is it us first? But first, dodge some tentacles. Oh, I am eating tentacles bad. We're gonna heal. I'm failing. Get into the cone to go to the other realm. We're here. Focus the caster ad. Dude, actually so true. That is actually exactly right. And our friends are up here. Our friends would actually be on the other side by now so we don't stack with each other, though. But I'm not going to hold it against them. It's the other group's turn. Oh my god. Bro, he's running through my... Are you crazy, big dog? Can you hit the boss in this phase? Yeah, you can hit the boss in both phases. You could probably do the Texas two-step on this too, but I think it's a little bit different timing than Heroics. Move together so your healer can reach you. Okay. The cycle will repeat. Oh, sorry, buddy. The game doesn't let you do the Texas two-step, does it? I'm going to try to do it next time. I'm just burning boss. We're not going to kill the ad. Right? Let's go. What's the Texas two-step? It's how you dealt with like a few mechanics back in the day. It's like... Okay, how do I explain this? I can literally show you. I don't know if you can actually do it, but basically... Okay, you could move every time, right? Give me the circle. You can either move every time when you get 4 of them, right? So the Texas two-step is you stack 2 on top of each other. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not the Texas two-step. That's just like running it down mid, right? The Texas two-step is... Let me get it next time. I don't even know if you can do it with the timing. You probably can on this pineapple game. All right. All right, send us out. All right, give me the mechanic again. So you want to wait till the second one goes on you, and then you want to move, and then you want to move back and forth. It's like a stutter step. No, it's like there 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The timing doesn't exactly work on the pineapple game, but like typically mechanics you can Texas two-step. You want to minimize space you're taking up by it by spawning 2 things on top of each other. 1, 2. I fucked it up. 3, 4, 1, 2. You get it? So, like, you don't, Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the old... different guilds probably call it different things, but... Yeah, okay. Sick Rand. I think people are going to love this fight. Stay as close as you can without murdering each other. Oh, sure, this works, I guess. Aim this at simulacrums, but don't stack it. Okay. W. And that's the whole fight. Oh, I could have hit more with that. Run away to receive that damage. It's also going to blow up any remaining simulacrums. It's going to hurt. And that's the whole fight. And then it has area denial. That's it. It is an example of a simple fight that is not hard. Does not necessarily... This works, I guess. This shouldn't cleave. W. Hard doesn't mean good, you know? You can have things be pretty simple and still be good. a little faster of a jump than that. They're moving it out. Interesting. Yo. Oh, I healed right before that. That was bad by me. Or was it a safe progression choice? Rationing. One of the raid bosses of all time. There's 3 of them, right? Oh, that's just Mythic. This is probably heroic only. Deal with spiderlings. AoE. Get dealt with, buddy. Follow the boss and interrupt casts. Alright, I am following. Oh, I can press space. Forgot. I can just always be super speed for some reason. That's it. It's the 4th boss in the raid with the mechanics of the 2nd boss in the raid. Automatically blames the healer whenever you take. Fucking true. Heal me, by the way. Alright, Brood Twister. The room has 3 types of eggs and is divided into 3 sections. So true. The tank brings the boss to one of the sections, allegedly. The boss yells it's drinking time and then starts... It doesn't do that. Actually, it does do that. If the void touches any of the eggs, you're screwed. Use this to crack eggs before the void reaches them. And then the worm's cast must be interrupted. True. Now what? Spiders must be killed before they kill your tank. Tanks can't die. Ignore this forever. Get dispelled away from players. Amen. Get me? Yes, sir. Thank you, healer. I guess I could do either one of these, right? Parasites will infest their targets and multiply. Dude, this healer knows what's up. Alright, heal me. Alright, a little slow on the healing there. All good, though. Go to the next phase now. Alright. Let everyone know how each phase has more of one mob than the other. I mean, they are kind of doing that by the placement of where these ads are. Actually, that's not true. They had the first guy be a worm every time. That's not accurate. And I'm mad. And I'm mad. And look at me. I'm being a stickler, and this is a fucking stupid pineapple game. Look at me. I'm actually fucking dumb. Dispel me now, healer. Oh my god, what a beast. Alright. What could be the best boss of the tier? At least for where it is in the raid. Nexus Princess. Put phantoms in different parts of the room. Okay. Now it's going to create a big black hole. And we're going to get sucked. Here comes the suck. One black hole will appear under the tank. And we're going to get sucked in. Stand between the rifts to cancel out the suction. Yep, if you were to put them... Actually, I'm going to test and see how this is coded. I want to see if this is actually... Wait, what are we doing? Turn it away? Okay, don't touch your teammates' balls. Facts. Okay, so... Am I going to get extra sucked into these ones? I mean, this is pretty similar to how this would actually work in this kind of configuration. My least favorite fight so far now? Oh, I don't know, man. This is kind of a heater. I think this boss is going to be really good. Especially Mythic. I just grief my whole team. All good. And look at me. Just heal me, actually. Phase 1's repeats, but with 1 extra Phantom. Alright, I'm going to grief this on purpose. I want to put them all right next to each other and see if it gives you the Giga Suck. Yeah, dude. Right here. Right here. Let's fucking go. Giga Suck. Oh, yeah. Come on. It should be hard to live from back here. Actually, that's... You are kind of getting pulled. I need to move one of these over here. Alright, pick me with this one right here. Pick me with this one. I don't want to kill it. Please. Give me the line. No. Stay here. Okay, that's kind of cursed. I want people... Bro, you guys are going to see this in Heroics, by the way. You're going to see... Oh, yeah. Oh. I got turbo sucked to the mid. Ooh. This, guys, you are going to have some hilarious wipes in Heroic. Hilarious wipes. Wait, how come all my friends died in the soft enrage? Oh, wait, am I gonna die? Because I stopped DPS trying to grief the fight? I might die. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. No. Okay, we lived. Good. Purge mana repair. Yay. Enough gold. Thank you. Alright, Silken Court. Which one do you want me to kill? Spread. Oh, shit. Okay. What are those, webby bees? Let's get webbed together, big dog. Oh, we'll need it soon. Okay. A charge must be stopped. Yeah, me and you. Wrong cocoon. What do you mean wrong cocoon? How is that supposed to... Okay, let's go. Stop the web. Yes, sir. The fuck, man? How was I supposed to know that the one I was supposed to go to was not the one with the one guy? Oh, you gotta remember, I'm in the wrong spot. Go there. Little two-step. Yes, sir. Y'all learn that for Heroic Week. You always want to go... You always go to the first one, and then you wait for the first one to go... You want to look at the first one, and then move to the spot that doesn't go there right away. Like this. This is always the right spot. And easy. It's the same every time, though. All good. Run away. No. Webs can be safely snapped. Doing it then. Fuck you. Their debuff is Stinging Swarm. Heal me then. Jump to the nearest target when dispelled. Yeah, I got it dispelled on this boss. Dispel me now. Okay, you're doing them first. That's fine. Wait. Transfer the 3 debuffs to the boss. Oh, we're doing a young triangle. All good. Okay. Damage amp. Damage amp, chat. Huge dam. Oh, they missed the damage amp. All good, though. Break the absorb shield. I can do that. You should be in the middle, buddy. Hey. What are you doing there? Let's get weird with it. Let's go stand in this. And then... Dude, they call me young Venn diagram. Oh, over here. Oh. Oh, right there. No. But there are no cocoons. But there are. We can't break them, though. Yes, good job. I was about to say chat. Good job, chat. Were you doing young triangle again? I was the bottom last time. Should be good here. Let's go. And then they didn't make the last boss, which is good. You have to discover it yourself. W pineapple game, W pineapple game. Let's go. Back in game. Isn't it helpful, though? I think for most people, yeah. Like, JB made a good tweet about this. Checklist for Wednesday. Be renowned 18 with Hallowfall. Have 530... What? I don't want to ask Grok, bro. Have 590 gear on 3 characters for splits. Have 14 delve keys. Learn how to heal on a spec I haven't played in raid before? No. Watch more than 5 seconds of any boss fight from PTR? No. So, like, everyone just wants their character to be super strong, but no one wants to do the very efficient thing of, like, having somewhat of a clue of what you're doing. Right? So, Pineapple teaches you, you know? Max, okay, counterpoint. Knowing what the fuck you're doing doesn't get you invited to pugs. It keeps you in pugs, though. Right? Like, getting invited to pugs day 1, definitely going to be based on your eye level. No question. Day 1. Day 2, your eye level you have right now is irrelevant because you'll replace all of it with delve gear. But that is for sure. But staying in the group, I mean, dude, pugs are ruthless early, man. Like, you mess up a mechanic you've never seen before, you're fucking out of there. If you do a little research, you'll be an all-star. Or you can do what some people have done. I've heard of this. Is week 1, people will make their own heroic clears. And they'll only invite people that are on other tier tokens. So they just get 4 set. If it drops, obviously. Now that goes hard. My 4 set is dog water, though. I think everyone's 4 set is kind of... 2 and 4 set is kind of stinky after the nerfs. Oh, a little yawn. Proc a little yawn right there. Max, did you try the new battleground? No, I didn't. Should I do it? How do I do that? PvP. Do you just have to join a random battleground and hope you get it? I think that's another thing that might pop off this season. I don't know exactly where you do it, but there's a way to do... Oh, it's probably in this tab here that you can't see yet, but... There's going to be solo queue RBGs. Which obviously could go so wrong, but could also go so right. Like, YOLO RBGs are so fun, and having that something designed around it, I think could be really good. It could be nasty. Oh boy, yeah. RBGs bring out the worst in people historically, so that could be pretty bad, but also fun. It might be more of a social experiment than an expansion feature. Social experiments are good. Solo shuffle isn't toxic at all. Is solo shuffle like relatively more toxic than just regular PvP? Like, I bet there's toxicity in everything that's competitive, I guess, in any game, but like, I feel like 2v2, 3v3 arena, if you win a game, there's like a 30% chance someone from the other team will find your server and message you with some mad shit. I bet solo queue's probably about the same as that. It isn't really because you switch teams between rounds. Yeah, so I guess the reason someone would be mad is if they felt like you threw when you were on their team, they would think that you threw their game and they're mad at you. But also, wouldn't the argument there be that, like, you would get free games because they were throwing when you were playing against them? So would it even matter? What is it? They started banning in early Dragonflight for solo toxicity. Yeah, I remember seeing that. There was like some people that were just like, I love every time ban waves go out and then a few people decide to tweet and they're like, dude, I didn't even do anything. And then they'll like, someone will post a screenshot of it and they like were like threatening people's families and shit. Because like to them, like being the absolute worst to someone online is like, doesn't matter, you know? That's like a normal. What do you mean? That's a normal reaction when you lose an arena game, man. Come on. All I'm saying is when someone's like, "Wait, a ban wave went out and I got banned, but I didn't do anything." While that does actually happen, it's just like there has to be like a 70% chance you did it, you know. Solo queue RBGs are going to be great for 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to take, and 2 to 3 weeks is going to be all it takes for the Chads to realize they can get easy games from all the casuals that system is meant for. Well, but it's solo queue. Because wouldn't it queue you with people near your rank, and sometimes you would queue with and against those people? So wouldn't it kind of average out? Chads go up in rating, so wouldn't it? Yeah, wouldn't it? I mean, because like regular RBGs don't work that way at all, bro. Regular RBGs, you can like win a few games and then you just get matched with like some like 3K rated team that RBGs for a living and you just get stomped. It just depends on how many people are queuing. If a lot of people are queuing, it probably will have no issue. But if there are very few people queuing, I think it could, Dude, I'm not gonna... Dude, solo queue RBGs sound insanely fun, by the way. I don't PvP at all in MMOs. I don't find it fun at all. I could see myself doing solo queue RBGs. It actually sounds fucking awesome. Last night, me and Kalamazzi fought Liquid and got slaughtered. Yeah, our guild was doing a bunch of battlegrounds yesterday, and they were definitely slaughtering people. Did anybody happen to queue into our guild doing PvP yesterday and have a fun or not so fun time? Dude, they were actually having fun yesterday. Because, like, even though they was doing PvP all day, it was still just, like, more fun than the monotonous, shitty content on 15 characters for the last 2 weeks. Was actually somewhat fun. Actually playing the game, you know? Kind of blows my mind to think how long ago Sired and Athreus was. We were already... Yeah, Sired and Athreus was almost 4 years ago. Crazy.
Yep, Olge. Max, have you seen the new items coming with the BRD raid in the .5 patch? No, I haven't. I'm not going to lie, guys. I haven't done a ton of looking into that, and I'm not going to. Like, the Race to World First is a black hole. It's like this, it's this Nexus event that everything else is based on for me, and there's an insane amount of prep and effort put into doing it, and anything, as you get closer and closer to it, anything that happens after it is all approached with the we'll cross that bridge when we get there kind of philosophy. And by get there, that means when the race is over. Like anything that happens after the race, I cannot afford to think about / have no interest in thinking about until the race is over this close to it. Like I don't even, it's like not even real. Like, you know, like nothing is real until it's over. That happens after that. When is it? The race really starts next Tuesday, but the race kind of starts this Tuesday. And what I mean by that is like, historically, in the Race to World First, Heroic Week viewership is like 75% of the average, like, Mythic is out viewership, which is way higher than a normal amount. Which means that Heroic Week has a ton of hype involved with it, and people really feel like they're in the Race to World First season. So even though no one's racing yet, you're doing all the stuff leading up to it, and people usually get pretty involved in that. Races in 2 days and still no Race World First announcement. Yeah, I don't know why that's taking so long. But, if there is one, of course. I'm not sure. Not sure if we will actually be racing for World First if it hasn't been announced yet, so. Is Heroic Week full speed, or will y'all take it steady? I mean, any amount of time you can save is valuable. I will say things are definitely a little bit more relaxed than, like, splits during Dude, splits during simultaneous release are so stressful because, like, anytime you wipe, you feel like you've personally cost the guild, like, a Mythic pull later on. And it's so stressful. But, like, Heroic Week, while there is much more splits in Heroic Week because you have the whole week, right? It's less stressful because it's just there's not as much of a time constraint. It's not like every second you waste in Heroic, you're taking away from Mythic. That's just not true. There's stuff you can do later in the week that are valuable, but it's, like, less stressful, so it's kind of nice. So, like, you want to go fast, right? Gotta go fast, but it's also not, like, stressful fast. Also, Smolderon isn't happening again. That's good. They created a boss where everyone in the raid spawns 5 lava orbs. It's not immediately obvious to someone who doesn't know the fight that those lava orbs can't be seen by anyone else but themselves, and every single time they hit the boss and you don't soak them, the boss gains 3% damage forever. They made a heroic boss that we were supposed to do with 15 to 20 helpers in our group. And that was by far the hardest split boss they've ever made. There will never be a boss harder than Smolderon, and there has never been a boss harder than Smolderon before as far as doing Race to World First splits with helpers. It is, like, systematically designed to be bad at that. I hear Echo and Liquid spend like 100 million plus gold during the race. Is that true? And what is it used for? You spend some gold on BOEs. It's pretty small. You spend some gold on paying your helpers to come to your runs. That's pretty big. You spend gold on crafting on all of these characters to make your splits faster. That's really big. Obviously, pots, flasks, food. I don't know, like regular expenses. Other shit. Stuff. Who knows? What is it? Echo is sort of changing how they pay their helpers this time, though. Oh, are they actually doing well, last year they didn't really pay anything. They did like a raffle thing. Like Echo made a bet last year that they don't have to really pay a lot of people. People will show up anyway. To save gold, which is I mean, y'all can get mad at that, but I mean, if they get away with it and people still show up to their runs, then they've just saved a lot of gold, right? So so yeah, they're doing that again. Oh, then they're not doing anything different, right? They're doing what they did last time. Yeah, they're basically like Echo will be spending probably a tenth, if not less, of what we will be spending for our splits by doing the raffle thing. I think they're raffling normal and paying out heroic if I read their tweet right. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just going off what you guys say. I haven't seen anything that they've announced, but like we would have to if they were in our region because we would have to compete with them, but realistically we have two completely different people who are going, like when they have Method in their region, they have to like compete against Method. Well, not really. They have a lot more fans than Method, so they don't have to offer as much as Method does. But we don't have another team in our region really competing with us, so like we don't have to like, Pieces made all of this go up a lot when Pieces got into the race. Shots fired? That's not shots fired. That is a fact. There is literally no other U.S. guild that is doing this many splits and paying helpers to come help them. It's not happening. So, there's no one to compete against. RIP BDG. BDGG being gone definitely makes it easier. I think we're paying the same amount from when BDG was even here. Honestly, it's the same thing for us. We have way more fans than BDG, so we don't have to try as hard to get helpers. It's reality, right? They have to pay more than we do to get helpers because people are more inclined to help us because, I don't know, I guess helpers think we have a higher chance of win if they have like NA pride or something, or do we just have more fans in general? Which is definitely annoying. That's annoying that that's a part of the race for sure. Because, like, if theoretically a guild was, like, skilled enough to compete, which is, like, not really feasible, but let's just say that was true, like, you'd already be behind by so much because you'd have to, like, develop the fan base and stuff like that over time, you know? Instead of it just being purely competitive. We care about gold, you pay us, we help, simple as that. I think for us, the reason why we don't do like a raffle thing and massively reduce the amount of gold we're giving you guys for helping us is like we want you guys to, we're paying, it's a very simple transaction. We're paying you guys so we get the gear in the runs you are doing, right? You get a raid clear, you get to fill out your vault. Maybe you wouldn't be able to have that otherwise. Who knows? But and then you're gaining gold. That's the transaction. You know, like the little trade meme. I offer you this, like that's the offer. So if we pay you, if we don't pay you anything, you are more inclined to steal the gear, kinda. I guess that was more of a case in previous raids when things were personal loot. But even now, I think Omni tokens are personal looted, right? But you can trade them. So like, Omni tokens are hella important, right? So like, we don't want to fuck with someone like feeling like they didn't get what they deserved out of the run and then like leaving with the Omni token. That can statistically happen, but it's like, you know, you want people to feel like they're being compensated for what they're doing. Where if you're not giving them enough, then, you know, that can happen.
Max, how often do you guys get someone who dips? It's very rare. It's happened a few times, but they've been like blacklisted after that happens, and they never get invited to any runs. And there's probably been less than 3 people ever who have done that in all of the Race World First. Maybe it's even. I only know of one, and I'm just guessing there's probably been a second one. I think off the top of my head there was someone once here. It like barely ever happens. Have you ever recruited someone into your guild from doing splits? No. That's like an insane thought. Like, I'm trying to think of an analogy for that. That's like an NFL player, like, at practice, like, throwing a ball with some, like, literally anyone, an adult, a kid, someone who, like, is on the field during, like, an off-season practice. And you're saying, like, have you ever recruited someone to your NFL team that was, like, playing catch with one of your receivers earlier? It's like what? Like, of course not. That's insane. Recruit the kid? Yeah, fuck it, you should. Fucking get him in there. Way to minimize the helpers. That's, I mean, I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not disrespecting anybody. It's just, yeah. Wow, you lost a fan in me. Have you ever kicked helpers for failing mechanics too many times? Yeah, for sure. It's pretty uncommon. Usually we're trying to have fun in splits, so if we see someone struggling, we try to help them out. And we'll usually just make it a bit of keeping them alive, and then they get fucking hyped when they finally do it. But sometimes, yeah, if like someone's actually wiping you, like if someone's griefing you, again, I don't really think that happens. You always get rid of them, but yeah. I don't know. Replacing people is annoying because then you have to like pay people for half a run and shit, and then it's like a accounting annoying thing, you know. We need a pissy bee appearance. Yeah, we have a few people that like have basically done all of our splits since BFA. Like, someone messaged Atlas the other day. They were like, how many characters do I need for splits? And they're unironically making characters to just continue doing splits. And they were someone who's done splits with us since the beginning, and they've always been like pretty solid and stuff like that. It's fucking sick. You got griefed hard in pugs on Smolderon? Yeah, that was... So did everyone, though. Like, anytime I was feeling bad about Smolderon, I would just, like, tab over to Echo and just be like, please tell me they're going through the same thing. And then I would just see Mirez's will to live, like, leave his eyes. And I'm just like, alright, fucking, at least everyone's going through this shit. Not just World First Raiders, every pug in WoW experienced it. Yeah, true. And this is what I get. And I'm sitting here talking about helpers, and then I get this message in game, which I didn't even know existed. Message from Piss Baby Illidan is potentially inappropriate. Show message. What did he fucking say? Okay, Piss Baby said, Piss Baby is benched. Be on the lookout for diaper dick. That's how you'll know it's me. And then, because it was a potential suspicious message, I can click report right next to it. Alright, so if y'all see Diaper Dick, you'll know that Piss Believer's still fucking around. He's fucking ready. Report him? I don't want to report him. Diaper Dick. Jesus. Alright, well shit. I'm answering the same questions over and over again, so... I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'll definitely be streaming Tuesday, and I'll be streaming like probably 12 hours a day, all day, every day for the next week or so. And then the race is going to happen. That'll be cool. And I'll be streaming that too. Planning on streaming that on YouTube and Twitch. Even though there's definitely a world where that is a bad thing. But I think it'll be fine. We'll see. Anyways, see you later.